Welcome to Books for Success. Today, we're unraveling the insights from How Not to Die by Michael Greger and Gene Stone. Embark on a journey through dietary wonders, unlocking secrets that will help you defeat chronic diseases and revolutionize your health. In this summary, you'll learn why sugar's role in health is crucial, how everyday herbs work their magic, what secrets your coffee cup holds, how simple daily motions transform health. Before we begin, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications. Don't be shy to smash that like button if you discover something valuable. Let's grow and succeed together. Let's start. The power of healthy choices. When Dr. Michael Greger was a child, his grandmother was diagnosed with end-stage heart disease. She was sent home to die. She then tried an experimental program run by nutritionist pioneer Nathan Pritikin. A plant-based diet and exercise brought her back to life, and gave her another 31 years. This event pushed Dr. Greger to pursue a career in medicine and explore the health benefits of diet and lifestyle changes to cure chronic disease. People don't die from old age, they die because of diseases, and primarily heart diseases. Our diets are the main cause of premature death, but dieting is not the main subject taught in medical schools. Doctors typically spend less than a minute talking to a patient about nutrition, but they are more persistent when it comes to pharmaceutical products. Not all diseases are predominantly caused by poor genetics. When people move from one country to another, the likelihood of getting a disease changes in accordance with the diet. Though life expectancy is increasing in the United States, people get to live longer with chronic conditions like cancer, diabetes, or stroke. When it's relatively easy to maintain a majority of advice, a healthy diet is the one people typically struggle with. Keeping up with the first 4 recommendations helps to decrease chances from 90% to 30% of developing chronic disease. Yet according to the Dietary Quality Index, the American diet ranks 11 out of 100 because most of the calories come from animal food and processed vegetables. This summary discusses some of the most widespread diseases associated with heart, brain, lungs, to name a few, and offers healthy, plant-based alternatives to medicines, and reveals the often overlooked importance of herbs, spices, and water. The cure is so close to us, yet we keep ignoring it. Having read this summary, you are likely to change your mind and improve your health. Did you know? A telomere is a small cap at the end of a chromosome responsible for cellular aging. Each of our 46 chromosomes has one. Heart and lung diseases are most common in the United States. Coronary heart disease is the #1 illness in the United States with an average of 375,000 deaths annually. It happens because plaque builds up inside the arteries and causes atherosclerosis. The symptoms start from chest pain and pressure and lead to sudden cardiac death within hours. However, the evidence shows that coronary heart disease hasn't always existed in some populations, like in Uganda and rural China. These countries share a similarity: the plant-based diet rich in fiber and low in animal fat. But when people move to high-risk areas, the risk of getting heart disease increases accordingly. Among Americans, the symptoms of atherosclerosis plaque can be seen in childhood by age 10. Elevated LDL, low-density lipoproteins, cholesterol level, or bad cholesterol, is the only risk factor for atherosclerosis plaque. To reduce it, you need to avoid trans fat, saturated fat, and dietary cholesterol. One fast food meal can cause inflammation in the arteries within hours and affect their functioning. Lung diseases kill almost 300,000 Americans annually. The most common are lung cancer, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD, and asthma. Lung cancer. The chances of getting lung cancer increase tremendously for smokers, by 23 times for men and 13 times for women. Smokers also contribute to killing secondhand smokers. However, once a person quits smoking, the risk of lung cancer halves within a year of quitting. Eating broccoli helps significantly lower DNA mutations in smokers. The evidence shows that cruciferous vegetables, like broccoli, cabbage, and cauliflower stunt cancer growth, while kale can lower LDL cholesterol levels and improve the level of HDL, or good cholesterol. 25% of lung cancer cases happen with those who have never smoked, but were affected by secondhand smoke or fumes from frying. Toxic chemicals from oils have genetic mutation properties and may cause cancer. For instance, stir-frying meat is 3 times more dangerous than frying non-meat food. Bacon fumes from frying cause 4 times more DNA mutations than fumes from beef. Non-meat eaters have a lower risk of developing brain diseases and are less prone to infections. 2 of the most dangerous brain diseases are stroke and Alzheimer's disease that kill over 200,000 people annually. But the good news is that a healthy diet can help prevent brain diseases. Stroke is caused by a clogged brain artery that leads to brain death. You can reduce the risk by increasing fiber intake. It will clean your arteries from cholesterol and lower your blood pressure. If you add 7 grams of fiber to your daily diet, you cut 7% risk of stroke. Reach your daily norm of 4,700 milligrams of potassium by eating greens, beans, and sweet potatoes. Citrus fruits are also good for your blood flow, because they not only reduce stroke risk but keep you warm longer. Alzheimer's disease is caused by brain cell death. There is neither a cure nor an effective treatment, but there is a chance to prevent it with diet and a healthy lifestyle. Besides strong genetic factors, there is evidence suggesting that high cholesterol may trigger amyloid plaque that causes Alzheimer's disease. Non-meat eaters, including poultry and fish, cut their risk of developing dementia in half. You should control your blood pressure and cholesterol level. Cut your intake of saturated fats, processed foods, and meat, and increase consumption of antioxidants. Fruit and vegetable juices also work well as they can reduce the risk by 76%. Many human infections originated from animals and their domestication: tuberculosis, measles, smallpox, and typhoid fever, to name a few. If you get sick, you need to prevent transmission. Cough into your bent elbow, not your arm. Sanitize your hands and keep them clean. Use alcohol rubs. They prove to be more effective against viruses than soap. Kale can trigger antibodies production in the cells, but there are no clinical studies to back it up. A type of white blood cells, responsible for the protection of our vulnerable gut, can be boosted with broccoli. We evolved by eating food from plants. That's why our immune systems activate vegetables in our guts. Phytonutrients in plants, found in red, orange, yellow vegetables and fruits, show abilities to protect us from pollutants, namely from dioxins that cause cancer. In a study, blueberries led to a double increase in the level of natural killer cells in athletes after eating a cup and a half for 6 weeks. Button mushrooms consumed every day over a week showed a 50% increase in IgA, immunoglobulin A, levels in saliva. Cut down on your intake of salt and sugar to reduce the chance of high blood pressure and diabetes. Diabetes comes with chronically elevated levels of sugar in our blood. It's either insulin deficiency, type 1, caused by genetics, or insulin resistance, type 2, that accounts for almost 95% of cases. High levels of sugar damage your cells and nerves and can lead to blindness, kidney failure, heart attacks, stroke, poor blood circulation, and consequently amputations. The risk for vegans to get diabetes is 78% lower compared to meat eaters. One possible explanation is that saturated fats are toxic for our bodies and cause inflammation, while unsaturated fats are less harmful. Another possible reason is that chemical pollutants found in animal food, for instance in canned sardines and salmon, may damage your metabolism and cause obesity predisposition. The body mass index isn't the best way to measure your weight anymore. Abdominal fat should be taken into account with the help of waist-to-height ratio. Soft drinks and processed meat promote death, but whole grains, vegetables, nuts, seeds, and fruits could save almost 5 million lives. High blood pressure, or hypertension, tends to increase with age and kills 9 million people every year as it contributes to deaths from a variety of causes. Sodium is essential for our bodies, but too much salt can retain water and increase blood pressure. The average American consumes 3,500 milligrams daily, and the American Heart Association recommends eating 1,500 milligrams. That's 3/4 teaspoon of salt. You won't be surprised to learn that about 75% of the salt you consume comes from processed foods, namely pizza, chicken, and bread. To reduce the risk of high blood pressure, stop adding salt to your food and give yourself 2 to 4 weeks to get used to the taste. Use spices and herbs instead. Avoid processed foods. 3 portions of whole grains a day can reduce the risk of heart attack by 15% and the risk of stroke by 25%, similar to drugs. Flaxseed has the strongest blood level lowering effect, followed by raw and cooked vegetables, and hibiscus tea. A plant-based diet can make the body less prone to breast and prostate cancers. After skin cancer, breast cancer is the second most common among American females. Limiting alcohol, eating mostly plant foods, and maintaining a normal body weight can reduce the risk of breast cancer. Melatonin, a hormone that regulates your sleep, also suppresses the growth of cancer. Women who work at night and have a reduced level of melatonin can have an increased risk of breast cancer. If you consider eating meat, it might be better to boil it to decrease cancer risk. High-temperature cooking methods, like roasting, pan-frying, grilling, and baking forms carcinogenic components in meat, called heterocyclic amines. Some products consumed daily that help reduce the risk of breast cancer are fiber. With every 20 grams, cancer risk drops by 15%. Apples show 24% lower odds of breast, ovarian, laryngeal, colorectal cancer, and reduced cancer cell growth. Cruciferous vegetables. 2 or more portions of broccoli and Brussels sprouts decrease the risk of hardly treatable estrogen and progesterone receptor negative breast cancer. Flax seeds are rich in fiber, lignans, and omega-3 fatty acids that reduce the risk of breast cancer and even decrease tumor growth. Soy may help lower breast cancer risk and also help reduce hot flash feelings in menopausal women. Prostate cancer strikes nearly 1 in 2 men over 80. Many of them die, not even knowing they had cancer. Hormones in dairy products like milk, low-fat milk, and cheese could stimulate the growth of hormone-sensitive tumors and promote the conversion of precancerous lesions or mutated cells into invasive cancers. Meanwhile, soured milk and yogurt can have the opposite effect as they contain the bacteria that can ferment away some of the lactose. The best defense against and prevention of prostate cancer is eating a plant-based diet and exercising. That can also help men to stop cancer progression without surgery or radiation. Even a half-vegan diet can slow down cancer growth, and adding any cruciferous vegetables to the daily diet can significantly cut the risk of cancer. Did you know? High insulin-like growth factor 1, IGF-1, can become the reason for cancers, namely prostate cancer. Animal protein and meat, eggs, and milk can provoke the release of IGF-1. Herbs and spices don't just add flavor. They boost health. For a low-calorie or any other diet, you're advised to add herbs and spices to make food more enjoyable, e.g. to give it flavor. Did you know that herbs and spices are also healthy in themselves, and could even help to fight cancer? They might be very small, but they contain more antioxidants than any other type of food. If you add just 1 teaspoon of oregano to your pasta dish, you will double the amount of antioxidant content within it. A study undertaken in 2010, published in Archives of Neurology, also showed that spices such as saffron can help slow down the progress of Alzheimer's disease. Depression is said to be one of the most prevalent conditions in our society today. There are certain spices that contain a specific enzyme, monoamine oxidase, which can actually help to reverse depression. If we're talking about the single best spice out there to beat cancer, it has to be turmeric. This wonder spice contains a molecule called curcumin, and that is why the spice has that vibrant coloring. It goes beyond color, however, as curcumin is also quite effective in treating several different types of cancer, with pancreatic, lung, and colon cancer amongst them. All you need to do is take a teaspoon of dried or fresh turmeric daily to reap the rewards. If you combine this with black pepper, the effects will last longer, since turmeric alone disappears from the body pretty quickly. Black pepper can hold its effects for longer. Did you know? You should have a quick chat with your doctor before you decide to take turmeric. The reason is because anyone who has kidney stones or gallstones may experience unwanted effects, e.g., pain. Water flushes waste products out of your body. There is no single other beverage on the planet which is anywhere near as healthy as water. Water is as pure as it can get, while sugar drinks are exactly that, high in sugar. We're always told to drink plenty of water. But how much is plenty? In this case, around 10 glasses per day is enough. You'll find various guidelines in terms of how much to drink, but there is actually little evidence behind these other numbers. Of course, you can also increase your water intake from eating fruits and vegetables too. You don't have to limit yourself to water, however, as there are a few other beverages which you can add into your daily routine and still reap benefits of water. Coffee is one of them. The drink we get ourselves out of bed with actually has some fantastic benefits. Firstly, the brain and the liver get a boost of health. Studies have also shown that if you drink 2 cups of coffee per day, obviously cutting out the sugar, you actually have your overall risk of long-term liver problems. So what you shouldn't do with either of these delicious warm drinks is add milk or sugar. Milk is the biggest issue here, because the Beverage Guidance Panel deemed milk to be harmful, with links towards certain types of cancer, e.g. prostate. You should obviously also avoid anything sugary, such as soda or cola, and beer if at all possible. If you love beer, limit your intake drastically. Any type of alcohol has links with cancer development, so while it's fine to drink in moderation, that is the word you should always keep in mind: moderation. Conclusion. This summary has given you a lot of information about healthy living, but the hope is that you're surprised about how easy it all is. None of what we've talked about is rocket science. You can pick your own pace of incorporating healthy food into your lifestyle. Either jump in or do it one step at a time. A healthy diet and exercise help prevent coronary heart diseases, obesity, diabetes, cancer, and many other chronic diseases. Dr. Michael Greger and Gene Stone teach us how not to die prematurely with the help of a whole food, plant-based diet. In other words, it means eating more vegetables, greens, fruits, berries, beans, nuts, seeds, whole grains, herbs, and spices while avoiding meat, animal, and processed foods. One more fantastic benefit of a healthy diet is that it saves money, as you won't be spending it on frequent visits to doctors, medication, or useless diet supplements. You probably realize that a plant-based diet is not a panacea or a 100% cure for all diseases. The fact that such an approach helped the author's grandmother does not mean it is universally effective. However, opting for whole foods and greens is a choice of a healthier life that will gradually improve the overall quality of your existence. Changing your diet and heading towards a plant-based option can help you live a healthier and longer life. It's really that simple. The conditions you're suffering from right now may simply be a result of your diet, from eating meat and animal-based types of foods, for example. Switch it up and just see the effects for yourself. Try this. Apart from a plant-based diet and drinking a proper amount of water, we also need to exercise regularly. If your lifestyle is sedentary due to the type of work you do, make yourself get up for 5 minutes at the end of each working hour. During this time, you can stretch, do squats, or just walk around the office, the rules allowing. Cut your lunch break in half and take a 30-minute walk outside of your place of work, even if you work from home. Walk to and from work. If that's too far a distance from your home, walk at least 2,000 steps each time. Thank you for joining us on this enlightening journey. If you've enjoyed our summary, consider picking up the full book for a more in-depth exploration. Before you go, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't yet, and share this video with someone who could benefit from these insights. Until next time, keep reading, keep learning, and keep growing. Thanks for watching.